All right, everyone. So actually, after we did this video, we looked up some more stuff about our welding and all that, and figured out a couple things that we were doing wrong. So hopefully, next time we do a video, we're doing some welding, we'll be able to improve on that, especially with a little extra practice. But other than that, I appreciate you guys watching, and big thanks to our buddy, always helping us out, machine shop and all that, and just we don't usually plan on how to make this stuff. Sometimes just find some scrap metal laying around, and we get her done. So they actually came out really good. I was pretty happy about it, and enjoy the video. All right, what's up, everyone? So we are on part 3 of our Jeep build, and actually things are starting to look up. So we had our parts ordered. We have our brakes coming. We have some shocks actually coming for the other Jeep, but we're going to take those crappy shocks and put them on this Jeep. Just a couple bushings need to be replaced. Once we get the shocks out, we'll be able to measure what we need, and we should be able to buy some type of universal thing. So we'll see what happens with that. But if we can save money there, it's all about the budget. What we did do is end up making ourselves some shock towers. So here's our first one, which came out pretty good. And we still got to drill our hole, which we actually been working on over here. And I was going to do a little time lapse for you guys for us drilling these holes. But there's, we started it. We're going to go with a 3-bit setup here. I like to go with a real small bit first to kind of get your hole started. And then we'll progress into bigger bits. That way you kind of save your bits a little bit and it doesn't eat them up as bad. And we got this old drill press here, and I tell you what, it's probably maybe not as good as maybe the new ones or as fancy, but she gets the job done, and she's a good little unit. She's crisp. But yeah, we got our platform all the way down since it is a pretty tall. It sits on here. Oops. Ooh. Well, once we get the hole drill, it'll sit in there. The smaller bit will fit. But anyways, yeah, once we get the bigger bit in there, we'll have to see what we got to do. We might have to drill the last one by hand, but we'll see. Alright, so we got our mounts made here, and we got our holes drilled, so we're gonna see if the shock fits in this thing or not, and I hope it does. So technically it should be this side that goes in, and it looks like it's gonna fit. So now we got that figured out, it's time to prep to weld these suckers in. Alright. So we have our welder hooked up here. It's a good old stick welder. And we got some rod. And we're gonna try to get this welded on here. I have first time me ever using this stick welder, so I don't quite you're gonna have to probably fiddle with it. So but I'm gonna let you guys see, when I make a mistake, you're gonna see it. It is what it is. But we're gonna do our first run of bead, see what happens. I'm definitely no expert welder. I'm still learning a lot. So here we go, let's get at it. We got a couple different rods to use too, but this one seemed to make contact pretty good, so we'll see. Oop. All right, come on, guy. Holy moly!
All right, I don't know what to think of that. Oh, I got scared because I honestly thought we might have been burning a hole in our frame because it was just sucking all this up. Whew. And it stinks. Used a lot more rod than I thought too, but I tell you what, it looks, I'll give you guys a better angle here. And crappy weld, don't get me wrong, but it looks like it might have made pretty good contact there. So we'll know, he hit it with the hammer. Definitely down there it's a little weak, but hey, we're learning. That's what it is. So now that we got this, we could probably take our clamp off. Yeah. And we're gonna try to go for the bottom here. Maybe we're gonna lower our amps just a little bit so it burns a little slower. We're gonna try that. We're gonna see if it makes a difference or not. And we're gonna get at it. Woo. I'm getting hung up on the brake. Okay, I don't know. I think we're burning too fast still. I probably still need to lower the amps up. Or lower the amps down. Because yeah, we're not puddling like we should. So we're gonna lower these puppies down even more. Alright, so that was way thinner rod there. It was actually good for penetrating like really rusty material. Even though this is rusty still, it's not the cleanest metal, I think we still have a better shot. So we are going to go with the more of a standard rod here, and we're going to turn our amps back to what they were and see if we can get more of a puddle going on to make a little bit better contact. So it seems like we are making contact with the plate, but I prefer to only have to weld it on this side. So if we put in some really solid welds on this side, we won't have to worry about making contact here or here or even on the back side, because it is still just a shock that we're holding on that shouldn't need, it needs support, but with solid welds on this side should be more than enough. So we're gonna get at it. All right, here we go. Woo! Got me. Alright, this rod's not as... Holy moly, this is bad. Woo! Alright, but we are getting more of the puddle that we wanted. It's fighting us a little bit more. I'm making an arc. But I think I think we can get it done with this. So I'm gonna try a little harder this time. Come on, guy. We gotta get there. Get in there. There we go. Woo! Alright, so that could be a new number of things. Could be... Turn this puppy off here. So, people that would be really good at welding could look at this and be like, dude, your amps are too high. Dude, your amps are too low. Dude, you're using the wrong rod. You know, I don't know. So, we're just over here winging it, you know. And just to defend myself, like, not that I can't put down an okay rod, but there's a big difference between using MIG and, you know, it's a nice machine, so it damn near does the work for you. But, I mean, it's not the worst welds. I mean, That one's bad. That's my like one of my first ones there. But then like that one's not too shabby, you know. So we could put down respectable welds that will, you know, get the job done. You know, I'm not too shy. I wouldn't care if that one was exposed. Some of these, on the other hand, we'll hit her with the old hammer, but we know what? I mean, it's gonna hold probably. I mean, you can see it's got good contact, you know, so it's probably on there pretty dang good. So, question is, do we try a different rod on this backside here and just experiment? I think we're going to. We'll leave the amps where it's at. We're gonna use a different rod on this side, and we're just gonna mess around. You know, ain't no harm in it. But this stuff here seemed like it made really excellent contact, like it had no problem burning. And I think that's our problem with the rod that we might be using here. It might be more for a cleaner metal, and that's why you can tell it's like to get it started, it was struggling a little bit. So I think that was part of the issue. Because once we got it hot, you know, it seemed like it wanted to carry it, but if you let it, you know, from the start, it wasn't great. So we're gonna give this another whirl. I ain't scared. And just to let you guys know, showing you guys this welding and all that, my whole point of showing you guys this is that, you know, I don't know what I'm doing with everything, and I'm definitely not giving no welding, you know, instructions. I'm telling you guys how to do this. But you get to watch me, and hopefully, as time progresses, you're going to be able to look back, we'll both look back here and be like, dang, I remember when that guy was putting down some splatter on his Jeeps or whatever we're welding on, and now like he's running some pretty custom beads, you know. And I really do think we're going to invest ourselves in a nice welder that does MIG, TIG, and stick, and we just have the option to do everything. So I think it'd be a great investment for, you know, what we're doing here with you guys and just in general. And I really do want to better myself in welding and all that. I do enjoy it. I just don't have the opportunity to do it. And you can see, like, I wore this hoodie because I don't care if it gets burn holes in it, but I do need to get some proper, you know, gloves and all that. We got a good hat that our buddy actually hooked us up with. So, long story short, let's get at this sucker and get some shock mounts in. And just to let you guys know, that last rod we were using, totally wrong for the job. But this rod here we were using actually was right for the job, but they recommend it really only for tacking, which makes sense since it wasn't putting down a lot of you know, a lot of weld. And but it did say it was easy for striking, which we've seen. Like, it struck, it wanted to rip. So this one also supposed to be for your rustier, greasier metals. So I have faith that this one will be good. We're gonna set it at a solid 90 as amps. That's what it recommends. And we're gonna let her eat. Let's do it, boys. Definitely burning hot. Come on, baby, puddle up. Woo! Golly, I don't know. That sucker, I mean, I bet you that thing's on there. For sure. But, maybe I just don't know a lot about, man, I would think that it needs to be puddled more than that. So, like, you can see, like, I'm trying to, I don't know if it, like, looks over aggressive when I'm spinning it. But, like, they say when you're doing MIG, you either do want to do a C or you do, like, small, you know, circles. And you want to make sure you kind of overlap as far as the new metal that you're welding and then your old metal, so it combines it. So that's what you see when I'm trying to swirl. Don't know if you quite should be doing that with stick or not, but man, I tell you, I don't look pretty, but it looks like we're gonna know if it does the job here in a second. We're gonna get our hammer out and hit that side there. All right, hit it with the hammer. Boys, that's solid. Not the rest of the Jeep, but the mount's solid. Oh shit. Yep, so that's our welds. I'm not gonna show you guys the whole I'll show you the finish of the welds on the other side, but I'm not gonna make this video 30 minutes long. See, I mean, I almost touched that with my bare hand. I ain't smart. So, and it's just ugly. It really is. This side seemed like it's sunk in a little bit better. I feel like I could do better. I feel like I'm gonna crank the amps down lower, and I'm gonna try to sit in a spot because it was melting pretty good. And that's the last thing. Like the frame seemed like it wasn't melting, but the steel did. And that's the other thing is I don't quite know. Maybe I'll look that up real quick on how your AC and your DC currents work on this. I know we are right for DC plus, or they say AC current. So, okay. But yeah, I gotta see what this stuff really means, because I don't know what that means. I just got on the setting that the guy left it on last time. So, you know what? We're gonna go watch maybe a little Cletus and do some research real quick on this welder, and then we're gonna do on the other side. All right. We had to open the door because it is super smoky in here, even though it's cold out. It is what it is. All right, so if you guys can see what's going on here, it's a little dark, but here's our bridge. It goes over the frame here, which we knew was here. We didn't do a lot of measuring. We knew it was like 2 1/4. We ended up going way past that. So what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna pop these lines out of here and just kind of let them free float on top of the little beam that we have. And then maybe we'll like tape them down or something like that, just so they're not bouncing on that piece of metal and we break them that way. But or yeah, and then we'll probably put, actually what we'll do is, yeah, we're not, let's get it, let's get that piece in there and then we'll worry about that. But we're gonna pop these lines out, remove this, hopefully that gives us enough room. All right, so we did get that piece removed. Unfortunately, it looks like we're gonna have to take a piece of this off. It's really tight, even pushing the lines up, and it's still gonna fight us. At least if we get at least half this cut down, we'll be able to maybe have a better shot of wiggling it in. And at this point, once I get slid in there, I really don't have to pull it back out and do any more grinding. So I'd just rather get it done right first time, get her to squeeze in there, and to be that, and not disturb too much of these lines and all that. It caused us a big headache. So, all right, let's get at it. All right, so here's another example why I just don't understand the whole hole saw bit thing that we had problems with. Look at this blade. Still good to eat. Like, she's still working. And she just cut off this whole section here. And then we use our little, you know, smooth it out a little bit. Nothing crazy. So, and you're like, dang, Kenny, like, you just took all your support off. Like, well, you know what? I think she's still going to be all right, because this is pretty stout here. And even with that whole piece gone there, she's still stout. But we left a little bit. Then maybe it'd be enough to get us by. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to cut this at an angle. You know what? I'm going to cut this at an angle. We're going to smooth it out. And that should be good. We should be able to make that work no matter what. And we'll still have a little bridge support. So, alright. Alright, we got it in, guys. Our cut ended up working out pretty darn good. And it was a stretch getting this line on here. So that's why I was talking about maybe putting a little tape on that so it doesn't just keep rubbing, and then it'll wear a hole in there. So that's what I'm worried about. But we'll wrap it with something strong. And hopefully, you know, see, that's what I was talking about. But I ain't pulling it back out because it was stretch getting in there. But if we probably would have cut it more, we wouldn't have had that issue. But it doesn't want to go any further that way, it doesn't seem like. So that's how we're going to leave it. But we got a good spot here to put some solid welds on. So that's what we're doing next. Alright, guys. So we got our other side welded on. And, you know, same thing. Not the prettiest. Oop, I can't. There you go. And we actually got really hot here because the stick was getting so short, and we're like trying to finish it off, and then I started rushing too much, so I tried backpedaling a little bit, and then we ended up spicing it up a little there with a little ventilation there for our frame. But that's okay. It's a little whatever fills up with water, we got a little drain hole now. Not that we didn't already have about 100 of them in here. But we're gonna get a little hammer test for you guys here. As you can see, it's way more solid than anything else on the Jeep. And we actually, that little plastic clip, we were able to put back on, which as you can see, works to the point to where those are not going to rub anymore. And we'll probably just put maybe just a little tad of some super glue, Gorilla Glue, some type of glue, just to try to hold it in place there. And, whew, it'll be good. So, I think that's about it for tonight. We got our, we got those things welded. We're going to hang out in the garage just for a little bit. Just do a little fire watch action. Make sure nothing spices up on us. Looks like everything's great, good. There's no problems, but we are, back here where the oil's at, gas tank, all that stuff. So we start seeing something smolder. We like to just catch it now, not go to sleep, and no bueno. So I think tomorrow we're going to work more on, man, I'm pumped. Like, we haven't had shocks on this thing in the rear in so long. It's ridiculous. So we had tried to mount something up last year, which you go way back into last year. We tried to do something temporary. It just didn't end up holding up too well for us, and it was so weird having one shock on one side, and it just was not set up right at all. So now having two shocks work on the back. It's been a long time. So she's going to be crisp on that. Still waiting on parts for our brakes. In fact, yeah, we ordered those. Had to think about it. Our next thing too will be maybe we'll drag the front seat out next video. I think that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna drag the front seat out, and because we got to get that thing braced up good, and we'll probably maybe even see if we got any rod laying or a pipe laying around to where we could do that support rest on the back seat. So since we got the welder out, we might as well keep on getting at it and getting all this stuff done. And we'll work with the lights when we get a chance. A little spare time. So other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you later.